Adi Paschatya Dishatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you very much for joining this session. So His Grace Sundar Gopāl Prabhu is giving his time to answer any queries that you would have. So if you have question, you can raise your hand or you can put it in the comment section.
Hare Krishna, thank you for coming on our Friday session. Very happy to be with all of you again. So anyone has got any questions to start with? That'd be very kind of you.
Yeah, I'll read that.
I do have one question, Prabhu.
I think that somebody wrote something on the chat.
Okay, Manu Prabhu, please write it in the chat. We'll go in order. So, Ananda Manjari Mataji is a message from Renuka Devi Mataji from ISKM Vaishnavi Sangha group. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhuji, I want to know about chanting methods and on how to develop a taste for chanting. Is it okay to think about Krishna's pastimes or his form or his qualities while chanting? Because sometimes I can't help but imagine things related to Krishna in order to avoid making my mind less active while chanting. I don't know if it's right since our ignorant brains can speculate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna.
So the process of chanting for us neophyte has been told by Prabhupada is that you should try to chant and hear the holy name of the Lord, rather than trying to think of Krishna's form or pastimes or all these things comes in the higher stage, you know. Right now, our mind needs to become purified, and the best process to hear the holy name while being chanted, and the mood is like a child crying for the mother. This is the process. Trying to kind of remember Krishna and see Krishna or capture Krishna, it'll be a little difficult at this stage. They come to you automatically as you make more spiritual advancement. You see in this verse, 23, 14, 15. CC. Madhya. 23. 14, 15, yeah. So you see in this verse, this is the process, you know. Beginning is Adavshada Tata Sadhu Sangha. And then is Bhajana Kriya, you know. This Bhajana Kriya means that we follow the directions, instruction given by our spiritual master. It's called Bhajana Kriya, the rules and regulation, you know. And the chanting at this stage and all, it's very difficult to capture Krishna. So as we make progress, anartha nivritti, the dirty things in our heart, when it is disappear, especially starting with lust, anger, greed and all that, then we become fixed up, you know, nistha, we become fixed. And then we develop taste, and after this taste, you can see, ataha shakti. Ashakti means that we get attraction to the form of Krishna. You know, this takes some time, you know. It's not that overnight this will happen. Then of course bhava, and bhava means that you develop spontaneous, you know, attraction for Krishna, and you start thinking of him most of the time, and all these other aspects of the Lord manifest in the heart. So initially it is basically trying to follow the rules and regulations. And at this stage, our mind is, very difficult. It is, going here and there. So the best thing is to hear the holy name of the Lord and not try to think of all the other things of Krishna's pastimes and all that. I don't say you cannot, but not during chanting, especially during chanting. Try to hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Best is that if you have Prabhupada tape chanting along, that will give a lot of impetus, to the chanting. Especially you can see this verse, 4:24:32. Someone want to read this? That's the whole purport.
Who would like to read this purport? This is 4:24:32 Bhagavatam. Who would like to read?
Hello?
I can.
Lord Shiva voluntarily came to bless the sons of the king as well as do something beneficial for them. He personally chanted the mantra so that the mantra would be more powerful, and he advised that the mantra be chanted by the king's sons, Rajaputras. When a mantra is chanted by a great devotee, the mantra becomes more powerful. Although the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is powerful in itself, a disciple upon initiation receives the mantra from his spiritual master. For when the mantra is chanted by the spiritual master, it becomes more powerful. Lord Shiva advised the sons of the king to hear him attentively, for inattentive hearing is offensive.
So you see, this is the method, That's why we recommend that you play Prabhupada's chanting tape along with your chanting. And this will definitely help you improve in your chanting. Yes. Who's that?
So Ananga Manjari Mataji, maybe you can let Renuka Mataji know the answer that Prabhu gave. So we can proceed to next question. Manu Prabhu, you can put forward your question.
My question is, what was the difference between the situation of Ashwatthama and and how Arjuna spared him, and how Arjuna in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, he wanted to spare the Kauravas, but Krishna wanted him to kill all the Kauravas. But on the surface where Ashwatthama, Krishna said, kill him, but actually he did not want him to kill Ashwatthama.
Ashwatthama was not killed because basically he was the son of Dronacharya. So on the, what we say, intervention of Draupadi, he was let go, So although he was let loose, but he was cursed that he will hang around until the end of the, what do you call that, Manu, and he will become, after this Manu, he will become one of the Sapta Rishis, There's 7 sages, so he will be one of them. And meanwhile, he will hang around like a ghost, traveling around until the end of this Manu. That means another, how many? Now is 27 cycle, So the Manu is halfway through until he finishes 71 cycle of Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, and then he will become the Saptarishi. So you'll be hanging around, traveling in invisible bodies for the offenses of killing the children of Draupadi and the Pandavas. This is in the Mahabharata.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Any other questions?
Hare Krishna, the devotees, please unmute yourself, ask your questions, or post it in the comment section. Questions that you might have thought of when you were reading this week, or maybe some conversations with devotees. Anything that came into your mind, please put it forward. So we are about 18 here. Nobody can come up with a question. His Grace Sundar Gopāl Prabhu is giving his valuable time. So we should come at least with some inquiries.
Prabhu, I can ask one question.
Yes, please.
Please accept my humble obeisances, dear Prabhuji. My question is regarding, I do like to research a lot on health. So I have come across a list of around maybe more than 10-20 diseases that are caused by stress. So they say that, even doctors say that meditation is a very good way to overcome stress. But I heard a doctor say that, if you are not able to do meditation, at least go do some exercise. It's not so easy to sit and just meditate. So I was wondering, I'm very fortunate that I'm having the Hare Krishna Mantra Association of Devotees supporting philosophy. Is it okay if I tell people like this, you chant, if you are in distress, chant, and you'll no longer be distressed like that? Stress. Is it okay thing, or it's deviating from the higher goal of prema? But not all people are looking for prema, and thank you.
So you see, when you are in a mode of passion, you get disease. One of the thing about passion is that it gives you stress and disease. So if you want to actually come out of disease, then you need to come into the mode of goodness and then to transcend that. So therefore, your chanting is very much recommended by even the doctors. You understand? So that's why we are recommending that you start chanting Krishna's name. That will bring you to the transcendental level. And that way, when you get into the transcendental level, then you will, overcome all these passionate qualities. You understand me?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes, Prabhu.
So therefore, it's important that the devotee starts waking up, doing the morning program. Yeah? That will be, that's why even in the English proverb there is early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. Huh?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So this is all because of the mode of passion. The mode of passion is very conditioning, brings a lot about disease.
Yes.
It is spoken of in this verse here. You can see when a person gets into the mode of passion, and it gets into stress, disease. (11, 25, 17).
Would you like to read, Rahul Prabhu?
Sure. You should discern the mode of passion by its symptoms. The distortion of the intelligence because of too much activity, the inability of the perceiving senses to disentangle themselves from mundane objects, an unhealthy condition of the working physical organs, and the unsteady perplexity of the mind.
You see that? An
Yes.
unhealthy condition of the working physical organs. That means you get disease, no?
Yeah.
So you need to come out of this by coming to the mode of goodness, no? And only from goodness you can transcend that and become the mode of pure goodness. 11:13. So you see, very important how to become God conscious, you know. You don't become spiritually in line, then you're asking for a lot of trouble, you know. Yeah.
Would you read this verse, Rahul Prabhu?
Yes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said the three modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance, pertain to material intelligence and not to the spirit soul. By development of material goodness, one can conquer the mode of passion and ignorance, and by cultivation of transcendental goodness, one may free oneself even from material goodness.
Next verse.
When the living entity becomes strongly situated in the mode of goodness, then religious principles characterized by devotional service to me become prominent. One can strengthen the mode of goodness by cultivation of those things that are already situated in goodness, and thus religious principles arise.
See that? And once you get into religious principle, then you transcend the next verse.
Religious principles strengthened by the mode of goodness destroy the influence of passion and ignorance. When passion and ignorance are overcome, their original cause, irreligion, is quickly vanquished.
See? So you have to do this, you know. If you don't do this chanting and all that, that's why your doctors also recommend you to do some kind of meditation, because they got no clue what to do. And we have very clear understanding that the main thing is to chant, and when you chant, you'll develop all the good qualities, you know. 5, 12, 18, 5, 18, 12.
All the demigods and their exalted qualities, such as religion, knowledge, and renunciation, become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculations and must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man?
So you see here, so if you act on the mental plane, then you are subject to a lot of miseries, You cannot be happy in the modes of material nature. That's not possible. You understand?
Yes.
So it's very dangerous to go in the mode of passion now. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, is this also a support that I heard someone say by chanting your sinful reactions can be eradicated? So, like diseases and all also can be reduced as a part of that, or like old age.
Yes.
These things do come with the body.
Once you start chanting, the moment you are with Krishna, then all these bad qualities you become purified, You understand? 1795. 17 Madhya. Go to the verse. Yeah. Devotional service.
This is Madhya Lila, chapter 17, text 95, somewhere in the purport. Could you please read?
Devotional service is Klesha Agni even for beginners. This means that it reduces or nullifies all kinds of suffering. The word Subhada indicates that devotional service bestows all good fortune, and the word Krishna Akarshini indicates that devotional service gradually attracts Krishna towards the devotee. Consequently, a devotee is not subject to any sinful reaction.
So you see here,
Yeah.
Therefore you have to become a devotee. There's no other way to this, You cannot try to enjoy this material world without Krishna. That's not possible. You follow?
Yes.
So if you want to live a healthy, happy life, the only recourse is to become a devotee of Krishna. As Krishna says, 3:29:39.
No one is
Rahul
dear to
Prabhu.
the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor is anyone his enemy or friend, but he gives inspiration to those who have not forgotten him and destroys those who have.
Yes?
Yeah.
So you want to become, purified, or you don't want to become purified? You follow?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah. These are all lower motivations, I feel, but at my stage, I feel they are motivating me. So, yeah.
No, if you surrender, then everything will be taken care of, For my devotee, Arjuna declared boldly, my devotee never perish, no? Bhagavad Gita 9:32. Right? We have to learn how to understand this, Not this one word before. Here, you see here?
Bhagavad Gita 9:31.
Quickly become writers, attain lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declared boldly that my devotee never perishes. So you want to be on the Krishna side, then you get all the facilities.
Yes, Prabhuji.
If you don't want to surrender, then you have to take the consequence. So anyone who's intelligent, he will surrender. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So why don't you surrender?
I'm trying to follow the morning program with devotees in ISKM Vaishnav Sangha chat, and my apologies for not being able to meet you earlier. I heard you say, Prabhuji, to Narad Muni Das from ISKCON, some UK ISKCON project, that even Prabhupada was deported from Singapore. I was thinking I'm having transit visa at Singapore, they will allow me, but they are very strict. I did not have proper visa, and now, Prabhuji, I'm thinking to meet you in Russia. Dimitri Prabhu told me. So I was, I know you are very expert doing all this, but travels, I think, but in Singapore also, it's a good passport, but if you go for e-visa, they will just allow you 16 days. So Prabhuji, please, if you are having a longer visa, I already booked my flights July in Russia, so hope to see you, Prabhuji, and wish you safe travels to the USA. Nimayan Prabhuji posted the schedule, and please bless me, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Where you stationed now?
I am in Sikkim.
Sikkim?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
kind of Tibet, Bhutan. I thought it's very peaceful, calm area, so I just took a room here, and it's not easy to leave. Once you go to a place.
What you doing there?
I'm doing online job, Prabhuji, since 6-7 years, full-time online.
Why don't you go down to Pondicherry?
Prabhuji, I don't like hot climate, so I just go for cool places, like maybe Russia I can go.
Devotees would like to associate with other devotees, even if it is in hell.
Prabhuji, high state. I'm very low state, I mentioned.
That's why I'm telling you to go to Pondicherry, your lower state, you take directions. Not direction from your mind, direction from authorities. That's the first step of surrendering. If you want to do what you want to do, then how you will ever become a devotee? Huh? You understand? To become a devotee means to follow the order of the spiritual master. Yes?
Prabhuji, I'm afraid my health will go bad. It's very hot and humid out there. So
I don't think so. You'll go bad in a month, You're not going to die in a month or two, Hello? Hello?
Yes.
You heard that? Huh?
Yes.
You're not going to die in a month or two, please. And if you're going to go there for a month or two, then you can always fly back. What's the problem? Yes? Huh? Hello?
Yeah. Prabhuji, I wish to meet you in Russia, probably, if possible, later in July.
What if you cannot meet me in Russia?
I already booked everything, and I hope I can meet devotees there.
Okay, hope to see you there.
Thank you so much. Please. Thank you so much.
All right. Any questions?
Yeah. Okay, so there's Yashudhara Kiran who is asking, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. We are not supposed to touch japa mala with point of finger. Is this true for counter beads as well?
Not really. For counter bits, we don't have any objection. Only for the chanting bits. Only the bits you're chanting with, you should not touch. Counter bits is not anything I heard of, I know about.
So we have a question from Vishnu Priya Mataji. She's saying, Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Those who meditate on impersonal form of the Lord, they merge into the Brahma Jyoti of spiritual sky. Is there any way they can elevate to Goloka Vrindavan from Brahma Jyoti, or they have to fall down to the material earth to associate with devotees and practice Krishna consciousness to go to Goloka, as referred in 10.232?
It says in 10.232, you just quoted, that generally they will fall down. But there are also cases that it says that they, from the Brahman platform, they can eventually go up to the Goloka platform. That is also there. Of course, they must get association of devotees. That's very important. That 24.125, I think.
Madhya.
Yeah. 145 or 125, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's see.
This one.
What he says? Ah, yes.
This is Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 125. I do not know if you would like to read, Vishnu Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I am actually in the travel. I'm unable to, I don't know whether my voice is clear or not. I need to get down from the bus as well, so it's difficult for me to read from the phone.
Okay. We'll ask someone else. Thank you, Mataji. Who
Thank
would
you
like
so
to
much,
read?
Prabhu.
It's all right if I
Yes,
take
go
a read.
ahead, please.
O great learned devotee, although there are many faults in the material world, there is one good opportunity. The association with devotees. Such association brings about great happiness. Due to this good quality, our strong desire to achieve liberation by merging into the Brahman effulgence has become weakened.
You see that? So, Brahman effulgence, if you get association of devotees, then this desire to merge in the Lord, becomes weakened, That happened to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also. He was a very big impersonalist. But by associating with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave up the idea. So it is said generally they will fall down, but there are also cases, rare cases that they will, eventually go higher. But this requires association of devotees. I don't know how they're going to associate in the Brahman platform with devotees.
Yeah, that was the question, Prabhu, because once in the Brahma Jyoti, they merge into Brahman. There is no way to associate or do any practice of Krishna consciousness. Yes.
Maybe they fall down again and then they get association. No?
Okay, Prabhu.
There's another verse you can see, 5, 12, 13.
No, Prabhu.
Who are the pure devotees mentioned here? And an assembly of pure devotees, there's no question of discussing material subjects like politics and sociology. In the assembly of pure devotees, there is discussion only of the qualities of form and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is praised and worshipped with full attention. In the association of pure devotees, by constantly hearing such topics respectfully, even a person who wants to merge into existence of the absolute truth abandons the idea and gradually becomes attached to the service of Vasudeva.
So you can read the verse. Yeah. 5:31 Adi Leela.
Is CC chapter 5, text 31.
Those who attain Brahman, Brahma Suja liberation cannot.
Sayujya.
Oh, Brahma Sayuja liberation cannot gain entrance into Vaikuntha. Their residence is outside Vaikuntha planets.
Next verse.
Outside of Vaikuntha planets is the atmosphere of the glowing effulgence, which consists of the supremely bright rays of the body of the Lord.
This verse.
Sorry, one moment. Internet is. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that religion is called Siddha Loka,
That
and
region.
that region is called Siddha Loka, and it is beyond the material nature. Its essence is spiritual, but it does not have the spiritual varieties.
Next verse.
It is a homogeneous effulgence around the sun, but inside the sun there are chariots, horses, and other opulences of the sun god.
Next verse. Next.
Yeah.
Not looking.
Excuse us, we are streaming from China with a VPN, so sometimes accessing websites that are normally blocked in China is slower. Go ahead.
As through devotion to the Lord, one can attain his abode. Many have attained that goal by abandoning their sinful activities and absorbing their minds in the Lord through lust, envy, fear, or affection.
Next verse.
Where it has been stated that the Lord's enemies and devotees attain this on the same destination, this refers to the ultimate oneness of Brahman and Lord Krishna. This may be understood by the example of the sun and the sunshine, in which Brahman is like the sunshine and Krishna himself is like the sun.
Read the purport, Prabhu.
Purport. This verse is from the Bhaktarasamrita Sindhu 1.2.278 of Srila Rupa Goswami, who further discusses this same topic in his Lagho Bhagavatamrita Purva 5.41. There he refers to the Vishnu Purana 4.15.1, where Maitreya Muni asks Parashara in regard to Jaya and Vijay, how it was that Hiranyakashipu next became Ravana and enjoyed more material happiness than the demigods, but did not attain salvation. Although when he became Shishupala, quarreled with Krishna and was killed, he attained salvation and merged into the body of Lord Krishna. Parashara replied, that Hiranyakashipu failed to recognize Lord Nrsimha as Lord Vishnu, though that Nrsimha was some living entity who had acquired some opulence by various pious activities. Being overcome by the modes of passion, he considered Lord Nrsimha as an ordinary living entity, not understanding his form. Nonetheless, because Hiranyakashipu was killed by the hands of Lord Nrsimha Deva, in his next life he became Ravana and had proprietorship of unlimited opulence. As Ravana with unlimited material enjoyment, he could not accept Lord Rama as the personality of Godhead. Therefore, even though he was killed by Rama, he did not attain Sayoja, or oneness with the body of the Lord. It is in his Ravana body, he was too much attracted to Rama's wife, Janaki. And because of that attraction, he was able to see Lord Rama. But instead of accepting Lord Rama as his incarnation of Vishnu, Ravana thought him as an ordinary living being. When killed by the hands of Rama, therefore, he got the privilege of taking birth as Sishupala, who had such immense opulence that he could think himself a conqueror to Krishna. Although comparator to Krishna. Although Sishupala was always envious of Krishna, he frequently uttered the name of Krishna and always thought of the beautiful features of Krishna. Thus, by constantly thinking and chanting of Krishna as an enemy, his constant remembrance of Krishna dissolved the reactions of his vices, and he attained salvation by becoming one with the body of the Lord. From this incident, one can understand that even a person who thinks of Krishna as an enemy and is killed by him may be liberated by becoming one with the body of Krishna. What then must be destined of devotees who always think favorably of Krishna as their master or friend? These devotees must attain a situation better than Brahmaloka, the impersonal body effulgence of Krishna. Devotees cannot be situated in the impersonal Brahman effulgence into which impersonalists desire to merge. Devotees are placed in, I was still on the last line. And devotees are placed in Vaikuntha or Krishna Loka. This discussion between Maitreya Muni and Parashara Muni centered on whether devotees come down to the material world in every millennium like Jai and Vijay, who were cursed by the Kumaras to that effect. In the course of the instructions of Maitreya about Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, and Sishupala, Parashara did not say that these demons were formerly Jaya and Vijaya. He simply described the transmigration through 3 lives. It is not necessary for the Vaikuntha associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to come to take the roles of his enemies in all the millenniums in which he appears. The fall downs of Jai and Vijay occurred in a particular millennium. Jaya and Vijaya did not come down in every millennium to act as demons. To think that some associates of the Lord fall down from Vaikuntha and every millennium become demons is totally incorrect. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has all the tendencies that may be found in the living entities, for he is a chief living entity. Therefore, it is natural that sometimes Lord Vishnu wants to fight, just as he has the tendency to create, to enjoy, to be a friend, to accept a mother and father, and so on. He also has a tendency to fight. Sometimes important landlords and kings keep wrestlers with whom they practice mock fighting, and Vishnu makes similar arrangements. Demons who fight with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the material world are sometimes his associates. When there is a scary demon and the Lord wants to fight,
Scarcity of demons. When there's a scarcity.
Scarcity. When there is a scarcity of demons and the Lord wants to fight, he instigates some of his associates of Vaikuntha to come and play as demons. When it is said that Shishupala merged into the body of Krishna, it should be noted that in this case he was not Jaya or Vijay, he was actually a demon. In his Brahad Bhagavata Mrita, Srila Sanatana Goswami has explained that the attainment of salvation by merging into Brahman effulgence of the Lord cannot be accepted as the highest success in life, because demons like Kamasa, who are famous for killing brahmanas and cows, attain that salvation. For devotees, such salvation is abominable. Devotees are actually in transcendental positions, whereas non-devotees are candidates for hellish conditions of life. There's always a difference between a life of a devotee and the life of a demon, and their realizations are as different as heaven and hell. Demons are always accustomed to being malicious towards devotees and killing brahmanas and cows. For demons, merging into Brahman effulgence may be very, very glorious, but for devotees, it is hellish. A devotee's aim in life is to attain perfection in loving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who aspire to merge into Brahman effulgence are as abominable as demons. Devotees who aspire to associate with the Supreme Lord to render him transcendental service are far superior.
So from this statement, you can understand that how merging into the Lord is a very low position. And until they are favored by the devotees, it's difficult for them to get into the inner circle, That's explained in the next verse of this.
Anyone else would like to read?
Yes, bro. Hare Krishna, I can read.
Yes. Please go ahead. Haribol, please go ahead.
We cannot see the screen.
We
Prabhu.
cannot see the screen,
Oh,
bro.
excuse me.
Translation. Thus, in the spiritual sky, there are varieties of pastimes within the spiritual energy. Outside the Vaikuntha planets appears the impersonal reflection of light. That impersonal Brahman effulgence consists only of the effulgent rays of the Lord. Those fit for Sayujya liberation march into that effulgence.
Next.
One moment.
Beyond the region of ignorance, the material cosmic manifestation, lies the realm of Siddha Loka. The Siddhas resides there, absorbed in the bliss of Brahman. Demons killed by the Lord also attain that realm.
So here you can see that the four sides of Narayan, this is the spiritual world, So the demons have no access to, those who go into the Brahman effulgence have got no, scope of entering into this region. So they are outside, So generally, that's why it says that they stay in the effulgence, and when they desire some action, they again fall down. And if they fall down and if they are fortunate to get the association of devotees, then yes, they again go back to the spiritual world.
So, Prabhu, like in Brahman.
Clear up?
Sorry, Prabhu.
She understand this?
Vishnu Priya Mataji, has this helped you understand the subject matter?
Yes, Prabhu. Perfect. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Next question.
So we have Saurabh Prabhu who is asking, is Krishna everyone's dear friend? What is the difference if I chanting round in my finger rather than on Tulsi beads? So I guess it's two questions.
I didn't understand.
The first question is Krishna everyone's dear friend?
Krishna say, yes, I'm a friend to everybody. And in the Bhagavad Gita, he says that, no? I think in chapter 9, everyone is my friend. No one is my enemy. Yes, who knows the verse? Yeah.
129. Bhagavad Gita 9:29. Saurabh Prabhu, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhu, I can read, Prabhu. Yeah. Translation: I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him.
So Krishna is saying that he is equal to all, but if you become a devotee, then you are special to me.
Yeah, bro. Yes.
Read the purport, no?
Yes, bro. One may question here that if Krishna is equal to everyone and no one is his special friend, then why does he take a special interest in the devotees who are always engaged in his transcendental service? But this is not discrimination, it is natural. Any man in this material world may be very charitably disposed, yet he has a special interest in his own children. The Lord claims that every living entity in whatever form is his son, and so he provides everyone with a generous supply of the necessities of life. He is just like a cloud which pours rain all over, regardless of whether it falls on rock or land or water. Uh, but for his devotees, he gives specific attention. Such devotees are mentioned are here. They are always in Krishna consciousness, and therefore they are always transcendentally situated in Krishna. The very phrase Krishna consciousness suggests that those who are in such consciousness are living transcendentalists situated in Him. The Lord says here distinctly, they are in me. Naturally, as a result, the Lord is also in them. This is reciprocal. This also expresses the words Je jatha mam prapadante tams tathaiva bhajamaham. Bhajama aham. Whoever surrenders unto me, proportionally I take care of him. This transcendental reciprocation exists because both the Lord and the devotee are conscious. When a diamond is set in a golden ring, it looks very nice. The gold is glorified, and at the same time, the diamond is glorified. The Lord and living entity eternally glitter, and when a living entity becomes inclined to the service of the Supreme Lord, he looks like gold. The Lord is a diamond, and so this combination is very nice. Living entity in a pure state are called devotees. The Supreme Lord becomes the devotee of his devotees. If a reciprocal relationship is not present between the devotee and the Lord, then there is no personalist philosophy. In the impersonal philosophy, there is no reciprocation between the supreme and the living entity, but in the personalist philosophy, there is. The example is often given that the Lord is like a desert tree. And whatever one wants from this desire tree, the Lord supplies. But here the explanation is more complete. The Lord is here stated to be partial to the devotees. This is the manifestation of the Lord's special mercy to the devotees. The Lord's reciprocation should not be considered to be under the law of karma. It belongs to the transcendental situation in which the Lord and his devotees function. Devotional service to the Lord is not an activity of this material world. It is the part of the spiritual world, where eternity, bliss, and knowledge predominate. Yes, bro.
So this question was raised in the Srimad Bhagavatam 711 also. Your question is there. You can see this question.
So this is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1, Text 1 onward. You can read.
Yes, yes, bro. Yes, bro. King my God Vishnu, bring everyone's research is
Hare Krishna, Saurav Prabhu.
dear to everyone. How then
so
did he become partial like a common?
Yeah, sorry,
Yes,
Prabhu,
bro.
your voice was a bit breaking. I don't know if it's just me, just us here, or everyone.
It's breaking for me also.
Okay, so maybe I think it's your internet connection. Try again to read from the beginning. Saurav
Okay,
Prabhu.
bro. Yes, bro. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, can you listen me now? Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's better. Go ahead.
King Pariksit inquired, my dear Brahmana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, being everyone's well-wisher, is equal and extremely dear to everyone. How then did he become partial like a common man for the sake of Indra and thus kill Indra's enemies? How can a person equal to everyone be partial to some and inimical towards others? Lord Vishnu himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the reservoir of all pleasure. Therefore, what benefit would he derive from siding with the demigods? What interest would he fulfill in this way? Since the Lord is transcendental, why would he fear the asuras, and how could he be envious of them? O greatly fortunate and learned Brahmana, whether Narayana is partial or impartial has become a subject of great doubt. Kindly dispel my doubt with positive evidence that Narayana is always neutral and equal to everyone. The great sage Sukadeva Goswami said, my dear king, you have put before me an excellent question. Discourses concerning the activities of the Lord, in which the glories of his devotees are also found, are extremely pleasing to devotees. Such wonderful topics always counteract the miseries of the materialistic way of life. Therefore, great sages like Narada always speak upon Srimad Bhagavatam because it gives one the facility to hear and chant about the wonderful activities of the Lord. Let me offer my respectful obeisance unto Srila Vyasdev and then begin describing topics concerning the activities of Lord Hari.
You see here,
Yeah. Yes,
therefore,
bro.
great sages like Narada always speak upon the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah, bro.
So it is not that you give your speculated, what do you call that, viewpoint,
Yes, bro.
You follow? So now you ask the question, your question is exactly here in the Bhagavatam. Is it not?
Yes, bro. Yeah.
Huh?
Hmm.
So
Yes,
we must
bro.
show you references. This is the way of understanding. Yes?
Yes, bro.
Hmm. Read on.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is always transcendental to material qualities, and therefore he is called Nirguna, or without qualities. Because he is unborn, he does not have a material body to be subjected to attachment and hatred. Although the Lord is always above material existence, through his spiritual potency, he appeared and acted like an ordinary human being, accepting duties and obligations, apparently like a conditioned soul. My dear King Pariksit, the material qualities Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamogun all belong to the material world and do not even touch the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These three gunas cannot act by increasing or decreasing simultaneously. When the quality of goodness is prominent, the sages and demigods flourish with the help of the quality with which they are infused and surcharged by the Supreme Lord. Similarly, when the mode of passion is prominent, the demons flourish, and when ignorance is prominent, the Jaksas and Rakshasas flourish. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in everyone's heart, fostering the reactions of Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamoguna. The all-pervading personality of Godhead exists within the heart of every living being, and an expert thinker can perceive how he is present there to a large or small extent. Just as one can understand the supply of fire in the wood, the water in a water pot, or the sky within a pot, one can understand whether a living entity is a demon or demigod by understanding that living entity's devotional performances. A thoughtful man can understand how much a person is favored by the Supreme Lord by seeing his actions. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead creates different types of bodies, offering a particular body to each living entity according to his character and putative actions, the Lord revives all the qualities of material nature, Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamoguna. Then, as the super soul, he enters each body and influences the qualities of creation, maintenance, and annihilation, using Sattva-guna for maintenance, Raja-guna for creation, and Tamo-guna for annihilation. O great king, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of the material and spiritual energies, who is certainly the creator of the entire cosmos, creates the time factor to allow the material energy and the living entity to act within the limits of time. Thus, the Supreme Personality is never under the time factor nor under the material energy. O king, this time factor enhances the Sattva-guna. Thus, although the Supreme Lord is the controller, he favors the demigods who are mostly situated in Sattva-guna. Then the demons who are influenced by Tamo-guna are annihilated. The Supreme Lord induces the time factor to act in different ways, but he is never partial. Rather, his activities are glorious and therefore he is called Purusrava. Formerly, O king, when Maharaj Yudhishthira was performing the Rajaswaya sacrifice, the great sage Narada, responding to his inquiry, recited historical facts showing how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always impartial. Even when killing demons in this regard, he gave a vivid example. O king, at the Rajaswaya sacrifice, Maharaja Yudhishthir, the son of Maharaj Pandu, personally saw Shishupal march into the body of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Therefore, struck with wonder, he inquired about the reason for this from the great sage Narada, who was seated there. While he inquired, all the sages present also heard him ask his question. Maharaj Yudhishthira inquired, "It is very wonderful that the demon Sisupala marched into the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though extremely envious. His Hayuja Mukti is impossible to attain even for great transcendentalists. How then did the enemy of the Lord attain it? O great sage, we are all eager to know the cause for this mercy of the Lord. I have heard that formerly a king named Bena blasphemed the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that all the Brahmanas consequently obliged him to go to hell. Sisupala should also have been sent to hell. How then did he march into the Lord's existence? From the very beginning of his childhood, when he could not even speak properly, Sisupala, the most sinful son of Damaghosa, began blaspheming the Lord, and he continued to be envious of Sri Krishna until death. Similarly, his brother Dantavakra continued the same habits. Although these two men, Sisupala and Dantavakra, repeatedly blasphemed the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, Krishna, the Supreme Brahman, they were quite healthy. Indeed, their tongues were not attacked by white leprosy, nor did they enter the darkest region of Hades. We are certainly most surprised by this. How was it possible for Sisupala and Dantavakra, in the presence of many exalted persons, to enter very easily into the body of Krishna, whose nature is difficult to attain? This matter is undoubtedly very wonderful. Indeed, my intelligence has become disturbed, just as the flame of a candle is disturbed by a blowing wind. O Narada Muni, you know everything. Kindly let me know the cause of this wonderful event. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, after hearing the request of Maharaj Yudhishthira, Narada Muni, the most powerful spiritual master, who knew everything, was very pleased. Thus he replied in the presence of everyone taking part in the Yajna. The great sage Sri Naradji said, O king, blasphemy and praise, chastisement and respect are experienced because of ignorance. The body of the conditioned soul is planned by the Lord for suffering in the material world through the agency of the external energy. My dear king, the conditioned soul, being in the bodily conception of life, considers his body to be itself and considers everything in relationship with the body to be his. Because he has this wrong conception of life, he is subjected to dualities like praise and chastisement. Because of the bodily conception of life, the conditioned soul thinks that when the body is annihilated, the living being is annihilated. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is Supreme Controller, the Super Soul of all living entity. Because he has no material body, he has no false conception of I and mine. It is therefore incorrect to think that he feels pleasure or pain when blasphemed or offered prayers. This is impossible for him. Thus, he has no enemy and no friend. When he chastises the demon, it is for their good. And when he accepts the prayers of the devotees, it is for their good. He is affected neither by prayers nor by blasphemy. Therefore, by enmity or by devotional service, by fear, by affection, or by lusty desire, by all of these or any one of them, if a conditional soul somehow or other concentrates his minds upon the Lord, the result is the same. For the Lord, because of his blissful position, is never affected by enmity or friendship. Narada Muni continued, by devotional service one cannot achieve such intense absorption in thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as one can through enmity towards it. That is my opinion. A grassworm confined in a hole of a wall by a bee always thinks of the bee in fear and enmity and later becomes a bee simply because of such remembrance. Similarly, if the conditioned soul somehow or other think of Krishna, who is Sachidananda Vigraha, they will become free from their sins, whether thinking of him as their worshipful Lord or an enemy. Because of constantly thinking of him, they will regain their spiritual bodies. Many persons have attained liberation simply by thinking of Krishna with great attention and giving up sinful activities. This great attention may be due to lusty desires, inimical feelings, fear, affection, or devotional service. I shall now explain how one receives Krishna's mercy simply by concentrating one's mind upon him. My dear King Yudhishthir, the gopis by their lusty desires, Kamsa by his fear, Sisubala and other kings by envy, the Jadus by their familial relationship with Krishna, you Pandavas by your great affection for Krishna, and we the general devotees by our devotional service have obtained the mercy of Krishna. Somehow or other one must consider the form of Krishna very seriously. Then by one of the 5 different processes mentioned above, one can return home, back to Godhead. Atheists like King Vena, however, being unable to think of Krishna's form, is in any of these 5 ways, cannot attain salvation. Therefore, one must somehow think of Krishna, whether in friendly way or inimically.
Okay, thank you very much, Saurav Prabhu.
Thank you for allowing me.
And anyone would like to read? This is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5, Text 50. Anyone would like to continue reading?
Prabhu, I have one question. So when I can ask?
Yes, please keep your question. First, if you want, you can read this verse here.
Okay, Prabhu. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead descended to kill the demonic kings who were the burden of the earth and to protect the saintly devotees. However, both the demons and the devotees are awarded liberation by the Lord's mercy. Thus, his transcendental fame has spread throughout the universe. So, can I read the purport or only translation? Okay. A doubt may arise as to how the Supreme Personality of Godhead descends to this material world. And since he is a omnipotent creator of millions of universes, why do the devotees glorify as wonderful the Lord's activities, such as killing a witch named Putana by sucking out her life through her breast? Although such activities are certainly beyond the scope of ordinary human being, why should they be considered wonderful when executed by the omnipotent personality of Godhead? The answer is given in the verse by the word Nirvityai. The Lord killed the demons not because he was envious of them, but in order to give them spiritual liberation. Thus, the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in liberating both the devotees and the demons by his inconceivable pastime clearly distinguishes the Lord from any other living entity, either man or demigod. It is stated, Mukti Pradata Sarvesham Vishnur Eva na Samshaya. Only Vishnu can give liberation beyond birth and death. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has pointed out that generally the demons are awarded uh, impersonal liberation in the Brahman effulgence, whereas the devotees are given in the superior benediction of love of Godhead in the spiritual planet. Thus, the Lord exhibits his causeless mercy toward all classes of living entities, and his fame is spread throughout the universe. Because Krishna is transcendent, his fame is not different from his personal incarnation. So, as the Lord fame expand, the entire universe is gradually liberated. These are some of the unique characteristics of the Supreme Personality of God.
Does it answer this question?
Saurabh Prabhu.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. Thank you, bro.
So, okay, he has another question, maybe before Debale Prabhu's question. So Saurabh has, what is the difference if I chanting rounds on my finger rather than Tulsi beads?
So we chant on the Tulsi beads because the beads firstly is given by our spiritual master and is touched by our spiritual master. So that is the process of chanting. Because when you hold the Tulsi bead, then our hand is engaged in touching the bead. And in that way, our mind can have more control, Because you touch your finger is also chanting, but we have to follow what is given by the acharyas, the system set by the acharyas. So all acharyas, they count on the beats, Even the Goswamis, Nama Gane, what is that? In the verse in the song of the sixth hymn, Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gane Kabir. So they are also chanting on the beats, So we have to follow what has been given by our spiritual master. So therefore we chant on the beats more than chanting on the finger. Of course, if you have some difficulty, you are in a situation where you cannot chant on your beats, then what else do? Otherwise, I don't see any problem.
Okay. Thank you very much. Seems like there's a lot of questions all of a sudden that are coming in the chat. So we'll go with Debale Prabhu's question first.
So can I ask directly?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, in Bhagavad Gita, one of the main verses of Bhagavad Gita. So, Krishna here explains, Krishna says one word, Raja. Go. So, why Krishna is saying that go? Is it because Krishna telling Arjuna that you go, you fight, and that's how service for me, or for anything else?
Okay, your microphone somehow is high and low at intervals. So can you first of all let us know which verse of the Bhagavad Gita you're speaking about?
Prabhu, I'm speaking about 66. So the question is, that word.
Yes, Prabhu, your microphone is sometimes very low, sometimes very high. So please, can you type your question?
Okay, Prabhu, I have already typed that, so you can read that.
Okay. So we'll come to it in order. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. So we'll come to your question if you have typed it, but we'll go in order. So Saurabh Prabhu again is asking, what pleasure anyone get by merging on the Brahma Jyoti? Did any Shastra discuss about it? Hare Krishna.
CC, 6. RD 6. Forty-two. 642. Purport.
So this is Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 6, text 42 in the purport. Who would like to read? It's coming up. One moment. You can read this verse here. So, Saurabh Prabhu, why don't you read since it was your question. You can go ahead, Prabhu.
Yes, bro, I can do. Brahmando bhavet esa chet paradha guni krita naiti bhakti sukham bodha paramanu tulam api. If multiplied billions of times, the transcendental pleasure derived from impersonal Brahman realized still could not compare to an atomic portion of the ocean of bhakti or transcendental service.
So you
For
can
those
see
who-
the picture.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a long purport. I have many
Yes, bro.
questions. So that answers your question, no? Yes?
Yeah, yes, bro. Yes, bro.
I mean, you can read the purport on your own because we are running out of time, you know.
Thank you, Saurav Prabhu. We will go to now Jani Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Your Grace, Sundar Gopāl Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I have one question on behalf of Amori Prabhu. Why the disciple of Srila Prabhupada disobeyed to him and not following the rhythmic initiation system? They were all sannyas at that time, so why did they do that?
5, 12, 14. Bible.
Jani Prabhu, would you like to read? I'm sharing now. This is Bhagavatam 5, 12, 14 in the purport.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, please accept my obeisances, O glory Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, please accept my obeisances, O glory to Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Amari Prabhu. So who would like to read amongst you? Maybe Jani Prabhu can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. The incident herein described is very significant. In a previous verse, it is stated, Vina Mahatpada Rajo Bhishekam. One cannot attain perfection without smearing the dust from the lotus feet of an exalted devotee on his head. If one always follows the orders of the spiritual master, there is no question of falling down. As soon as a foolish disciple tries to overtake his spiritual master and become ambitious to occupy his post, he immediately falls down. Yashya Prasadam Bhagavat Prasado.
So you see this point here.
Yes.
So this is the reason why they all, went astray.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Understand?
They become ambitious. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
So we'll proceed to the next question. Vivek Prabhu is asking, how can I overcome deep sleep and consistently wake up early in the morning for chanting Mahamantra because I was waking up just 3-4 days a week?
Say, to become regulated, it'll take a little time, gradually, you have to persevere, It's not something overnight. So until you come to the Nista platform where you become pretty much fixed up, and that, will not happen overnight. So gradually, by becoming determined, patient, and slowly you will come there, And it's a very exalted platform to become regulated, Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
So please be patient, keep persevering, and surely you will come there.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
So we will proceed. So we have Bhakta Sanchit here, who is saying, Hare Krishna, please forgive the challenging nature of my questions. So number one, why did Prabhupada only translate one Upanishad? Was it because Prabhupada couldn't prove personalism from the impersonalism espoused in the Upanishads?
Upanishad is considered one of the 108 Upanishads among the 108 one of the important eight is the Ishopanishad. So Prabhupada translated this very important Upanishads. And of course, the purport of all the Upanishads are understood and elaborated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. So the Upanishads are very much enjoyed by the impersonalists, They like this because in the Upanishads, the direct reference of the Lord is not mentioned. You understand? And even then, Vyasadeva, after writing all that, he became a little bit despondent because he did not actually explicitly explain that the supremacy of Krishna. So when he was corrected by his guru, Narada Muni, then he took up this task of writing the Srimad Bhagavatam. And one who reads the Bhagavatam, then he will understand everything. Yes, this is even spoken by Lord Shiva in CC 24313. Madhya.
Translation. Sanchit Prabhu, would you like to read? This is Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 315.
Translation. Lord Shiva said, I may know, Shukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, may know, and Vyasadeva may know or may not know Srimad Bhagavatam. On the whole, Srimad Bhagavatam, the spotless Purana, can be learned only through devotional service, not by material intelligence, speculative methods, or imaginary commentaries.
So the Srimad Bhagavatam is a spotless Puranam, and it is complete. There's no need for any other book except the Bhagavatam. That's all explained in the 12th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the last chapter. You've got time, you please go and read that. Then you know, by reading Bhagavatam, then everything is there already. So instead of translating all the Upanishads, which is Prabhupada was actually racing against time, he wanted to finish the Bhagavatam, which was more important than doing all these other Upanishads,
Okay.
Right?
Thank you. So his second question is, are Mayavadis classified as surrendered souls?
Mayavadis are not considered as surrendered soul because they are, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's definition, they are considered as offenders to Krishna. Why they are offenders of Krishna? Because they deny the supremacy of the personality of Krishna. So because they deny that, so therefore they are not considered as devotees of the Lord. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Mayavade Krishna re aparadhi. So they are not considered as devotees at all. In the CC, the verse is there. I think you go and see, you go type this word Mayavad aparadhi, then you will get to the verse.
So it's Madhya Lila, chapter 17, text 129, if you would.
You can go there and read for yourself. Huh?
So third question is, the personal form of God is ultimately an illusion and only the impersonal Brahman is real. How can you say otherwise?
394 actually. 393. Go to 393 and then 394. This is spoken by Lord Brahma, huh?
So you can read this, Bhakta Sanchit.
O my Lord, I do not see a form superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge. In your impersonal Brahman effulgence in the spiritual sky, there is no occasional change and no deterioration of internal potency. I surrender unto you because whereas I am proud of my material body and senses, your Lordship is the cause of the cosmic manifestation, and yet you are untouched by matter.
So Lord Brahma is saying, I do not see a form superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge. Next verse. Can you read?
This present form or any transcendental form expanded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is equally auspicious for all the universes. Since you have manifested this eternal personal form upon whom your devotees meditate, I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Those who are destined to be dispatched to the path of hell neglect your personal form because of speculating on material topics.
That answers your question?
Yes.
Next question. One may desire to merge into Brahman and dissolve the individuality in the sea of Brahma Vidya. How can one achieve this?
It's an illusion. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 12.
Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be.
So how you can lose your individuality? Huh? Hello?
You can't.
Yeah. So this thing of merging and losing your individuality is a myth. You understand?
Yes.
Huh? So this
Yes, Prabhu.
impersonality, they like this thing very much, because they want to destroy their so-called individuality, but they are living an illusion. Right?
Number 5, what's the procedure or
Yes.
ritual for offering meat to Kali and liquor to Chandika?
You have to go to a secluded place, nobody is around, you take the animal with you, and then with one stroke of the straw, you have to kill the animal without giving him much pain. And after that you can offer to, you have to chant this mantra, Mamsaha. I'm killing you now, next life you can kill me. And after saying this, then you can take the meat and eat. Hello?
Actually, the meat is eaten by the ghosts all over the Kali, not by a hand.
It can go to 11, 5, 14, The purport there, you can see Mamsa.
This is Bhagavatam 11:5-14 in the purport.
Mamsaha bhakshayati amutra. Is it this word?
That mamsa bhakshayitamruta yasya mamsam ihadmya aham etan mamsaya mamsatvam pravadanti manishinaha. That creature whose flesh I am eating here and now will consume me in the next life. Thus meat is called mamsa as described by learned authorities. In Srimad Bhagavatam, this grisly...
So you can see how you are, I mean, anyone want to do this, he must be crazy, Yes?
Yes.
Number 6, is it acceptable to put or mix tulsi leaves with tea?
With what tea? Tulsi leaves to be worshipped, no? So you cannot put it in tea, which is forbidden. Anyway, we are not supposed to drink tea. Why put it in tea? Huh? Hello?
Yes.
Number 7, Lilamrita really does make Prabhupada seem like an ordinary conditioned soul. Is it safe to read and study Lilamrita?
Better to read Prabhupada letters, And Prabhupada letters are also in sequence explaining the pastimes of his activities, So this book, Lila Amrita, as you say, they portray Prabhupada as an ordinary person. Better you try to read the letters.
Number 8, is surrender to Krishna the only way out?
Yes, there's no other way out. That's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mamekam Sarana Bija. And he also says in 588, if you don't listen to me, you're going to get into a lot of trouble. Machita prana bodhe. Machita? Sarva Durgani, So there's no other way actually. I have to be fanatical about it. It's a fact.
Number 9, what is the best way to accrue pious credit to ensure future enjoyment?
You have to chant Hare Krishna.
10, is it acceptable to recite the Hanuman Kalisa? I find the Hanuman Kalisa to be especially engaging and addictive to recite.
The Vaishnavas are not, we don't do all this, We stick to chanting Krishna's name given by our Acharya, the mantra, and that's our main activity. Not sidetrack into chanting all these other mantras. Even the Narasingha mantra that we are chanting, it is also given by Prabhupada. So we follow this system. He never gave us any Hanuman Chalisa or any other mantra for that matter. So our duty is to follow the instruction given by our spiritual master. Yes?
Yes.
11, are gymnastic exercises in the mode of ignorance if they're performed only to make the present body fit and healthy?
Well, you can get healthy by chanting Hare Krishna, waking up in the morning. Because Prabhupada never encouraged these activities. Even pranayam is not very much encouraged also. It says it is difficult to attain perfection by chanting this pranayam. Here is the verse 10:51:60.
So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 51, Text 60. Please go ahead, Sanchit Prabhu.
The minds of non-devotees who engage in such practices as pranayama are not fully cleansed of material desires. Thus, O king, material desires are again seen to arise in their minds.
So you understand? So doing all these things, it doesn't actually purify us completely, Yeah?
Yes.
Making morning walks is sufficient. Prabhupada said morning walk is enough.
Yeah, good exercise chant. What is the other verse, other question?
So it proceeds. So Debalay Nandi is, Prabhu, I have one question. In 1866 Bhagavad Gita, there's one word called Vraja, means go. So Krishna is saying that, although it's very clear Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he's saying Mamekam and Aham to Ham Sarva Papebhyo. Kindly explain, Hare Krishna. Okay, so why is Krishna saying go? Does this mean he's saying, Arjun, you go and fight for me, or anything else?
Where is that word go in the verse? 1866.
It's Vraja, meaning to go. So Vraja, to go. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So he's confused as to why Krishna says go when he's in front of Arjuna.
Go here means go and surrender to Krishna, no?
Yeah, so it seems like as if he's speaking a third person.
Yeah, again, you see, Krishna said in 1862, he speaks also in that way in 1862.
The Balai Prabhu, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhu. to hear? Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Yes,
Can you hear
go
me?
ahead.
Yes, Prabhu. Translation. What is it? O Sagan of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, he will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. Yes, actually, he's also speaking like this.
So why? Because, then he says in the 18th chapter, surrender unto me, Mamekam. Yeah?
Yes,
Hello?
Prabhu. Actually, Prabhu, I was a little confused because he's saying go because although he's in front of Arjuna and like I was not able to understand that physical
The
thing like go or
devotees
what.
understand, This is why this thing is for devotees, For non-devotees, they'll get confused, understand? Yeah?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hello?
Yes, Prabhu.
That's why you need to become a devotee. Then this mystery will be revealed to you. It is not you understand with your own mental strength, These things are revealed to you, Bhagavad Gita 4:3, Bhagavad Gita, you see, Krishna says.
Bhakta Debale, please read.
Yes, Prabhu. Translation. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is told today, today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of the science.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Only
Understand.
Bhaktas can know.
Yeah, if you speculate, you cannot understand. For speculators, it's impossible.
Yes,
You
Prabhu.
understand that?
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
31.
You can read this verse also, Prabhu.
Me, Prabhu.
Yes, continue.
Translation. Let me offer my respects unto the all-pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead, who possesses unlimited transcendental qualities, acting from within the cores of the heart of all philosophers who propagate various views. He causes them to forget their own soul while sometimes agreeing and sometimes disagreeing among themselves. Thus, he creates within this material world, within material world, a situation in which they are unable to come to a conclusion. I offer my obeisances unto him. So, what is the verse number 2?
This is Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 4, Text 31.
6:431. Thank you very much.
Understand?
Yes, true. Yes.
Other question.
Another question.
Okay, so Manu Prabhu is asking, can the Jiva and the Brahman effulgence get that quick association when the devotee is passing through to Goloka? That's in relation to the previous topic by Vishnu Priya Mataji. So he's saying, is it possible that when the Jiva who get association of a devotee from Brahman, is it when the devotee is passing through that region?
Yeah, it is said that when the devotee goes to the spiritual world, they see all these things on the way, heavenly planet, and they must pass through their effulgence to go to the inside of the planet. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
You mean to say you go into the spiritual world without going through the lights? How do you do that? Huh?
So we have Ananga Manjari, who's Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 36, 13, and 14. As Arishta attacked, Lord Krishna seized him by the horns and knocked him to the ground with his foot. The Lord then trashed him as if he were a wet cloth. And finally, he yanked out one of the demon's horns and struck him with it until he lay prostrate. Vomiting blood and profusely excreting stool and urine, kicking his legs and rolling his eyes about, Arishtasura thus went painfully to the abode of death. The demigods honored Lord Krishna by scattering flowers upon him. Prabhu, usually we heard that whoever killed by Krishna either gets Sayujya Mukti or Vaikuntha residence, but here this demon gone to hell. How to understand this? It's not really mentioned hell, it's mentioned abode of death.
Can we read the purport? This is 36. See, when what's his name? Manigreva and Nalakwara were killed, or rather were delivered from the body of a tree, they did not also go back, They went back to their spiritual position. So was the snake that was, Krishna put his foot on the snake when he was trying to swallow Nanda Maharaj. He was also sent back to the Vidyadhara planet. And the crocodile that was killed by the Lord who attacked Gajendra, he also didn't go back. So there are many incidences. Why this happens is because of the devotee's particular relationship with Krishna. You understand? So if they may not go back at that instant, but just like Manigreva and Alak, because they went back to their abode and constantly remembered Krishna, they became purified and they left. When they left their body, they went back to Godhead again. So maybe not immediately, but you can understand their path going back is guaranteed, Yes? Hello?
So next question. Manu Prabhu is quoting 719. A thoughtful man can understand how much a person is favored by the Supreme Lord by seeing his actions. Why is it that I experience obstacles, lack of enthusiasm, health issues in my devotional service, even though I'm trying to read more with the intention to get inspired, to be stronger and more fixed up in my services?
So this is the battle, that not only you face, every one of us face. Because that's how the material energy keeps us on our toes, Otherwise, if everything is so smooth and quiet, then there's good chance of becoming complacent. So to always be feeling, how can I better myself? How can I improve myself? How can I increase my devotion? That is the mood of the devotees, We are always wanting to capture the Lord. We always want to be with the Lord. That's why if you see the Sasastaka prayer, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also praying at one point, Nayanam Glada Srudaraya, when can tears will flow and when will my, hairs will stand and, when I chant your, my voice will choke up, and he's praying also like that. That's also there in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, then he later on pray that tears are flowing like torrents of rain and all that. But as devotees, we have to always understand, You understand this? That's why our whole mood of devotional service is in separation, to increase, how can I improve? So that's a good impetus, to, I would say, increase our devotion. Yes?
Yes, true. And would it be all right while I'm reading, I catch something that kind of tugs at my heart? Do I, is it all right if I try to meditate on that?
Yes, anything that will give you inspiration, you should always try to, remember that.
Yes,
You understand?
Yes,
Just like the verse in 152 Bhagavad Gita purport. Even what's his name? Madhavendra Puri is praying. 152 or 252.
No, I didn't type properly, but yeah.
No, 252. See the purport. Oh, my prayers. You can read that.
Manu Prabhu can read.
Yes. All my prayers 3 times a day, all glories to you. O bathing, I offer my obeisances to you. O demigods, O forefathers, please excuse for my inability to offer you my respects. Now, wherever I sit, I can remember the great descendant of the Yadu dynasty, Krishna, the enemy of Kamasa, and thereby I can free myself from all sinful bondage. I think this is sufficient for me.
So you see, the mood of the devotee, however he can remember Krishna, he will try to, just like when the Narada was meditating and then the Lord appeared in front of him and he said, after this, you will not see me anymore. So why? Because this will give you the impetus to always remember me, and this way you will become purified and come back to me. You understand?
Yes.
So the
Yes.
Lord is sitting in the heart and he knows how to inspire the devotee to become stronger, Yes?
Yes.
Mm.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. The Jani Prabhu is asking, if a person envious of Krishna eats Krishna prasadam regularly, would he be gradually purified at a point that he will not be envious of anymore?
Yes, by associating with devotees, the person will become purified. That's the only way a person can get purified, by taking the prasadam of the devotee, taking the dust, or taking the water that washes feet, So even a person who's envious, you can read that verse 5, 12, 13.
I put it there. Should I put the verse?
Yeah, 5, 12, 13.
Jani Prabhu, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Who are the pure devotees mentioned here? In an assembly of pure devotees, there is no question of discussing material subjects like politics and sociology. In an assembly of pure devotees, there is no discussion only of the qualities, form, and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is praised and worshipped with full attention. In the association of pure devotees, by constantly hearing such topics respectfully, even a person who wants to merge into the existence of the absolute truth abandons this idea and gradually becomes attached to the service of Vasudeva.
So this is the cure of envy, You have to engage in the service of the devotees.
Yes, yes.
Devotee association is the cure for all problems.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Any other questions?
So I have one last question.
What?
Just one moment, Debale. I've seen you've written already, so we're coming to you. Bhakta Sujai is saying, please accept my humble obeisances, August to Prabhupada. Prabhu, how should one prepare to join full time?
Take your bags, pack up and go now. Hello? That's how you become full time? Pack up and go to our temple? What's the problem? How to become? Huh? Where you from? What's his name?
Bhakta Sujai.
Sujai, huh? Where you from? Are you there?
Bhakta Sujai, are you still there?
Hare Krishna, he's right.
Maybe he just listened to you and packed up his bag and went.
Prabhu,
So you associate devotees regularly, and then by and by you will get the inspiration,
Sort of, Prabhu is saying, is Kailash, you mean Kailash? Is Kailash Dham above Brahmajyoti?
No, it's in between. Kailash Dham is in between the Devi Dham and the Vaikuntha Dham, Hari Dham. The verse is there in the Brahma Samhita, you know. Mahesh Dham is in between.
Bhakta Debalay is saying, Prabhu, I have one more question. Prabhu, sometimes there are some people who are more interested to talk about the fall downs of the gurus, but they're not interested to learn or listen to philosophy from the devotees. Their only question is, tell me about this guru, that guru, etc. So Prabhu, in which manner we should talk with them, because they're not interested to listen to the actual philosophy?
If you're going to indulge in hearing only the faults and, you know, this criticism is not very good, you know. 11:22:2.
Previously, this Sujai, he says he cannot unmute himself, so he wrote in the comment section. He's saying it's from Nepal, you know, Bhakta Sujai, how to prepare for full time. He says he cannot unmute, so Nepal.
Cannot unmute, huh?
Yeah, you ask him where he's from. He's from Nepal.
Okay, you try to keep associating until Krishna makes the possibility for you to come out, you know. Huh?
What is the verse you mentioned just now?
I think it's 11:22. It doesn't look like that's the verse. I think it's 11. I remember it's 22. No, it's not that. Saying about the criticism, you know. Anyone remember?
Is it where it speaks about the qualities of a devotee?
11:28 You can read one. You can read one also.
Debalay Prabhu, he can read.
You can go to 1 and 2.
Okay, 1 moment. Okay.
What verse?
Yeah, it's Canto 11, chapter 28, text 1 and 2. Read one first.
Yes, Prabhu. In translation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one should neither praise or criticize the condition, nature, and activities of other persons. Rather, one should see this world as simply a combination of nature and the enjoying souls, all based on this one absolute truth. Translation: whoever indulges in praising or criticizing the qualities and behavior of others will quickly become from his own best interest by his entanglement in an illusionary values. Wow.
Can you read again properly? Hello?
Okay, I will read because I think your microphone has got some issues. So, whoever indulges in praising or criticizing the qualities and behavior of others will quickly become deviated from his own best interests by his entanglement in illusory dualities.
So we should be very careful in trying to indulge in the others, faults. Gurus fall down is one thing, but to dwell on it is just not very good, you know. But sometimes we have to point out, as preachers, we have to point out, some faults of them to explain. But not like, some groups are only publishing the faults of the gurus only. So that is, like here now, you see, we are talking only about the gurus fall down.
No.
Yes. There's so many other things to talk about, no? Yes?
Yes, bro, yes.
Anyway, why give them importance? They are already a dead horse, you know. Keep beating a dead horse is a waste of time, though.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
Okay,
Yeah,
next question.
The last question in the chat As of now, Bhakta Varun is asking, should we take care of our body or leave and depend everything to Krishna?
Prabhupada said you should take care of your body to be used in the service of Krishna. Unless you are very transcendental like Jada Bharat or, Rishabh, they become indifferent to their body because they understand their spirit souls. But when we are in the neophyte platform, we have to take care of the body so that we can use it in the service of Krishna. So we have to also, as Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, one who is regulated, in eating, sleeping, and all his activities. Yes? Hello, you there?
Bhakta Varun, are you there?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
I think it's 17 or no? Bhagavad Gita. One is regulated 6:14 or what?
6:17.
6:17.
Bhakta Varun, would you like to read this?
Yes, Prabhuji.
This is
He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, and recreation and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system.
So you have to be regulated in the habit of eating, sleeping, recreation, work. You cannot say, I don't take care of the body. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You must be regulated. How much eating only prasadam, sleeping enough, working enough. Everything has to be, as Krishna says here, regulated. Huh?
Yes,
You never
Prabhuji.
say you don't eat. You never say you don't sleep. Huh? Hello?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
okay. Thank you very much.
Hare
So
Krishna. Thank you.
I think this is a wrap up.
Any last question before we go?
Yes, last question. How would your trip go in America, bro? I'm just wondering.
How I what?
How will your trip go in America?
I have to leave on the 3rd. I am leaving on the 3rd from China, flying to LA.
Yeah, I was very happy to see
The plane will have to take me there. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just
I
looking
don't know
forward
how
to
that works. I'm not a flight engineer, but I think they'll fly me there for sure.
Yes,
You want to know that? I don't know how to explain that to you.
No, I just want to know I'm just saying that I hope you have a good preaching tour in America. America really needs it.
I think with your prayers and blessings, Krishna may bless me with some results.
Prabhupada is doing all the blessing. What can I say?
You are an American, no? Unless an American bless, how can I be successful in America? Your motherland. It's your motherland, no? Yes.
Motherland. Okay. I don't know what I can do.
I'll keep you posted. I will keep you posted on my activities there. I guess Baladev will also be highlighting the event and Sarup, Shamsarup and all, I'm sure you will be getting word of our activities there.
Yes, definitely, Prabhu. And I also got news that Baladev Prabhu just received our deities from the Philippines.
Yes, he also told me. So if you got somebody or you arrange some meeting, that will be a very, helpful,
Yes, please. If anybody knows anyone in America, please let them know Sundar Gopāl Prabhu's schedule over there. So he's going to be in the west, then south, and then east, you know. So there are specific dates that we've shared. If you do not know, you can ask a devotee who knows. And in this way, try to benefit the people that you know in America.
So with this, I'd like to thank all of you for giving me your valuable time and association. I thank you very much. All glories to Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna
So again,
Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. All glory Srila Prabhupada.
Okay, it seems as though everyone has to leave this meeting in order for the live stream to end.